It's been 15 years since the fall. The city is a corpse, and we are the worms. We burrow in it, fighting for every useful piece of land to preserve ourselves from the terrors of the night and the horrors of the day.
I know not who can hear my voice. I shall therefore speak a word unto hear. Anyone who dares to steal food will be hanged, and their bodies will be exposed.
Every day we rise from dust to choose between bad and worse.
Get him! You're dead now!
Welcome to Mac's channel. In this video, we want to get acquainted with 10 of the best games of 2022. Please stay with us until the last video. Number 10, A Plague Tale: Requiem.
These things.
While we know precious little about A Plague Tale: Requiem, the sequel to 2019's absolutely superb horror stealth effort A Plague Tale: Innocence, it's fair to say that it'll be a shoo-in for GOTY lists everywhere by the time 2022 has concluded its business. Certainly, if A Plague Tale: Requiem manages that same balance of stealth, horror, adventure and dread that made its predecessor so memorable, then we're in for an absolute treat when A Plague Tale: Requiem releases sometime later in 2022.
Let's say you choose to carry out the peace
Number 9, Dying Light 2.
one way or another.
Finally breaking cover in 2021 after seemingly years in development, Dying Light 2 looks set to intertwine an in-depth, non-linear narrative with the open-world zombie-destroying shenanigans that made the first game so popular. With the remaining vestiges of humankind dividing up the world into territories rather than banding together en masse to fight the zombie menace, Dying Light 2's messy and fractured world is one that I cannot wait to step into when it releases in 2022. Number 8, Stray. One of the most promising titles of 2022, Stray's premise is somewhat simple but no less compelling. As a young cat that has been separated from their family, our brave kitty must traverse through a sprawling cybercity where robots have utterly usurped mankind, in order to return home. An opulent platformer with puzzle solving and adventure beats to boot, Stray really can't come soon enough. Number 7, Suicide Squad: Kill the Justice League. It has been nearly 7 years since Rocksteady graced us with the jaw-dropping Batman: Arkham Knight, and now the studio is looking to shatter expectations once more with their next DC Comics adaptation, Suicide Squad: Kill the Justice League. Set in a future where Superman and all the other members of the Justice League have come under the influence of a malevolent entity, Deadshot, Captain Boomerang, King Shark and Harley Quinn are a quartet of villains forced to work together, upon pain of death, to prevent the mind-controlled Justice League members from destroying the planet. A genre-bending third-person shooter with style and jokes to spare, Suicide Squad: Kill the Justice League is easily one of our most anticipated games of 2022. Number 6, Uncharted: Legacy of Thieves Collection.
3 separate wars.
2 of the greatest Uncharted games ever made will be given a fresh coat of paint when Uncharted: Legacy of Thieves Collection brings Uncharted 4, A Thief's End and Uncharted: The Lost Legacy crashing and exploding onto PS5. A pair of resolutely brilliant adventures. If Naughty Dog just gave us both games in 4K resolution and 60 frames per second, I'd be more than happy, but chances are we're going to get far greater improvements than just that. Number 5, Gotham Knights.
Batman, Jim Gordon, they thought they had a handle on this city.
It has been nearly 7 years since Rocksteady graced us with the jaw-dropping Batman: Arkham Knight, and now the studio is looking to shatter expectations once more with their next DC Comics adaptation, Suicide Squad: Kill the Justice League. Set in a future where Superman and all the other members of the Justice League have come under the influence of a malevolent entity, Deadshot, Captain Boomerang, King Shark and Harley Quinn are a quartet of villains forced to work together, upon pain of death, to prevent the mind-controlled Justice League members from destroying the planet. A genre-bending third-person shooter with style and jokes to spare, Suicide Squad: Kill the Justice League is easily one of our most anticipated games of 2022. Number 4, Marvel's Midnight Suns.
If you'd be so kind.
In Marvel's Midnight Suns, wannabe armchair generals get to control the darker side of the Marvel Universe as the titular Midnight Suns, which encompass the likes of Blade, Ghost Rider, Nico Minoru and Magic, are enlisted by the Avengers as a last-ditch effort to take on Lilith, Mother of Demons. A seemingly riotous fusion of the sophisticated turn-based strategy that Firaxis is known for, together with the blinding spectacle and high stakes of the Marvel Universe. Marvel's Midnight Suns is looking every bit like the turn-based Marvel tactical extravaganza that we all never knew we wanted until now. Number 3, The Witcher 3: Wild Hunt. Still one of the best RPGs of the last decade, the prospect of The Witcher 3: Wild Hunt making its PlayStation 5 debut is certainly something of a salivating prospect, to say the least. With a raft of performance improvements including, but not necessarily to, improved resolution, higher levels of detail and improved frame rates, The Witcher 3: Wild Hunt on PS5 looks to represent yet another reason for old hands to take up the sword again, while also providing newcomers with the definitive version of a truly stellar RPG. Number 2, Avatar: Frontiers of Pandora. Avatar: Frontiers of Pandora is an upcoming open-world action-adventure video game based on James Cameron's Avatar film series. Avatar: Frontiers of Pandora is an upcoming open-world action-adventure video game based on James Cameron's Avatar film series. Players take control of the Na'vi and embark on a journey across the western frontier, a never-before-seen region of Pandora, and must push back the forces of the RDA, who seek to threaten it.
Friends,
Number 1, Vampire:
and
The Masquerade,
subjects.
Swansong.
thank you all for coming. We're gathered here to celebrate the unification of Boston and Hartford. One new domain.
Vampire: The Masquerade, Swansong is a narrative-driven, single-player role-playing video game in which the player controls 3 vampires with different vampiric disciplines, abilities, switching between them over the course of the game. The player can customize the characters by choosing to upgrade their disciplines and character statistics to suit their preferred playstyle. This influences character interaction and skills used while exploring the game world, such as picking locks and hacking computer terminals. Because the player characters often are surrounded by humans, the player needs to be careful about when and where they choose to use supernatural abilities, to avoid revealing their character's vampiric nature. Throughout the game, the characters are put in difficult situations where the player has to make moral choices, with no obviously correct choice.